morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Bait.com, I would like to thank you for being here today. Thanks, Paul and Doha, for great presentations. My name is Suhail Masri, and I'm leading the Employer Solution Division in Bait.com. And actually, let me ask you a question. By a show of hands, how many of you have recently started or established a startup or going to start a new business? Great. Good luck. Actually, in my part, I'm going to share with you Bait's knowledge and experience in attracting and retaining the best people for your startup. And let me first introduce Bait.com. Why Bait.com and why we share our experience as Bait.com? Actually, for a simple reason, because we are one of the top great places to work. And we have been awarded this for several years simply for our internal environment. And let me tell you, we started our business in the year of 2000. At that time, the internet penetration was less than 1% in the Middle East. And when we started, NASDAQ lost $1 trillion because of the .bomb or .com at that time. We started the business with 4 people, with a couple of hundreds of job seekers, and with 0 employers working with us. But at the same time, we had a clear vision. We wanted to be a Middle Eastern institution that is admired and respected. And we started with a clear mission, which is to empower people with the tools and knowledge to build their lifestyle of choice. And we had great values to take us through this journey. And lots of passion, of course, to succeed and to proceed with our business. So today, with over 20 million members, right now we have more than 22 million registered job seekers in the site, and over 40,000 employers trusting us as their career partners. We are the #1 job site in the Middle East. So we are not a recruiting agency. We are a job portal. We are a platform where job seekers can meet employers. So job seekers, they can search jobs in the Middle East or specifically in Oman, for example. And right now we have more than 200 jobs posted in Oman. And for employers, they can search the database or they can post jobs and get active job seekers. So we provide employers with search criteria so they can choose the criteria that they want and they can get the most relevant candidates that they want. And today, from having 1 office, right now we're having 13 offices, including our operation here in Oman. So let me share with you some of the surveys and polls. The first one, which is a poll about what makes a company an attractive place to work. It has been found that in the survey that 70% of the people shared or participated in the survey wouldn't work with a company that they are not proud of. And 60% said that the most harmful thing that a company can do for its brand is not to respond or follow up or communicate after job application. And 90% of the participants say that we want to work with a company that offers support and a great work environment. And also this survey showed that 70% of respondents said that we want to work with a company that has a clear developmental prospect, encourages sharing ideas, and it gives the opportunity to be trained and to grow. And 50% said that we want to work in a company that makes us proud of ourselves, that we work for a greater purpose. They want to participate in CSRs, they want to participate in activities to help the community. So what if you are in a new market and professionals never heard about you or familiar about you? But at the same time, you can attract equally as good talent. And the trick here is to build a nurturing environment and to brand your startup, especially online. So let's have a look at some of the ways to attract the best talents with no budget. So the first one is to build a value-based HR system. It's important to have a clear vision. It's important to have a clear mission for your startup and to get people familiar with these vision, mission, and values. I never forget my first interview with the CEO of Bed.com. Actually, he spent quite some time explaining to me the vision and the mission of Bed.com, and he was so passionate about this job. And we still do that whenever we interview a new candidate, because you need to sell your business, you need to sell your objective. Second, it's important also to brand your startup as an employer of choice. It's important to brand yourself as the employer of choice to attract the best candidates. And it's easy. You need to have your own social platform or media platform. You need to choose videos, pictures that reflect your internal environment in the company. Third one is to go social and hire with competitive code. And here I'm referring to the social recruitment. And social recruitment is very effective and it is very cost effective at the same time. And now it's not enough to look at the traditional CV. Anytime you want to hire or to check a candidate, now you go online and you write the name and you can get the activities that people usually do socially. And for that, we have introduced a new channel, which is people or having your profile public on Bed.com. And whenever you go to a channel called specialties, you can register or you can choose up to 5 specialties. For example, if I'm a sales manager and I'm interested in e-commerce, if I'm interested in a training, I can add 1 specialty training, 1 specialty e-commerce, and when I go to this community or to this specialty, I can communicate with the same community in the specialty, so I can ask questions, get answers, and get some ideas about the participation of that candidate. 4, it's important to have impactful job description. It's not enough to have a title of the job description. It's important to have detailed and impactful job description with the details of the jobs, the job or the tasks that the candidate should do. And it's important also to highlight the perks and the career advancement potential. Also, hire for culture. I know that companies usually look for skills, like communication skills. They look for qualifications. They look for experience. But for us, it's more important as number 1 to look at if this candidate is cultural fit or not. Before looking at the skills, before looking at the experience, and the qualification. So it's important to look for the cultural fit and then looking to the other important factors. And if you have a great environment and if you have happy employees, they will work as ambassadors for your brand. So they will start spreading the good thing about the company, and will give you the power of the word of mouth, and you can harness the power of the internal branding and the referrals. So if you have a good person, he will get you, or she will get you a great person too. And finally, in this part, again, usually great entrepreneurs can become great interviews too. So work on your interviewing skills. It's important to have great interviewing skills in order to get the best candidates. So by this, I spoke about some tips how to attract the best talents. But also it's important, and it's equally important to retain those top talents, to retain your employees. And according to survey about employee engagement in the MENA area, poll, it says that 60% appreciate the most when they know what they should do. So it's important to explain to your employees what's expected from them and to know the big goal and the objectives of the company. Also, 24% said that we would like to be recognized. They want to be praised. They want to be acknowledged for their hard work and for their achievements, and this is really important. And 90% said that we are aware of the organization's mission and goals. So it's important to keep updating your team with news of the company, with the mission, with the goals, with the objectives, with the achievements, in order to keep your top talent and your employees. So how can you, as a startup, be, again, a great place to work? So first point that I would like to share is to empower your employees to make decisions. Again, leaders of a great workplaces don't just talk about what they want to see in the future. They model this, and they keep practicing about it in order to, get better about it every day. So it's important to model and to empower your employees. It's not just providing them with training and leave them alone. It's a journey starting from listening to them, respecting their needs, giving them the material and the concept, coaching them, being with them step by step. And according to the poll, it says that 80% of professionals say that they are actively involved in making decisions that impact their work and their life, of course. So first one is to empower your employees. Empowerment is a great thing that you need to do with your employees. Second, you need to have a clear-cut approach to performance management. So if you have a fair and a clean appraisal system, this will help you to retain your top talent, because people want to know where they stand, and they want to know their achievements. They want to know what they need in order to build their careers in the companies. So in the poll, it says that 80% of the professionals in the MENA region say that their company has a fair evaluation system to measure their performance. So we said that first one is empowerment. We need to empower our people. Second, we need to have a clean and a clear-cut approach to performance management. Third one, provide adequate career planning. Again, this is really important because every employee wants to know his career path, and they need to understand what are the milestones that will help them reach there. And according to the poll, it says that 95% of professionals in the MENA region are aware of how their work will contribute to the organization's overall success. So it's important to also work with your employees to define the career path and what's required to be there. Third one, or fourth one, again, we said, as I said before, that 50% of people likes to work for a bigger or for value, bigger purposes, sorry. So this is a picture of some of the colleagues that are doing some activities, and it's important that to let your employees' work be meaningful. So because if you have engaged employees, so believe that work they are doing is great, and they believe that it has a value and contribute to the higher purposes, because they want to be part of the community, they want to help the community and be very active in the community. Keep communication channels open, and this is really important because, I mean, if you communicate openly, honestly, and frequently, this is a key, and this is actually one of the major causes for people to leave if there is no clear communication in the organizations. So keep communication channels open and train your employees. And again, training is a key for every organization because everyone there wants to grow and to build the future for himself. Again, one of the great points that we need to also keep in mind to encourage work-life balance and to have a great work-life environment at the company. And one of the things that actually we see that it's very important, which is encourage a good interpersonal relationships. It's important to build a good working relationships. It's important to conduct workshops, team building activities. What we do actually at BAIT, one of the things that we're doing, we do something called brown bag sessions, where we invite some speakers to talk about certain topics during lunch breaks. And it's really very effective and people like it. And this is one of the tools and the things that we do at BAIT to keep people engaged and loyal, of course, to their companies. So for us, we believe that as BAIT, if you remember these simple techniques, I'm sure you will be able to bring excellent talents, productive talent, and you will be able to retain them in your organization. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please, I'm ready to answer. By the way, we are here in Oman as BAIT.com, and we are helping, good number of employers to find talents, and we have many programs for startups. We can discuss many programs for startups, and inshallah we'll be able to talk about that also during this event. Yes, please.
That the resources are limited, and some of the things you mentioned might take a lot of resources that are currently not available. Sure. Perhaps they might work very well with a collaborative model if businesses adopt that. But career planning in a small and medium-sized enterprise, there is not much room for progression, especially for startups, and very few people work. What are realistic expectations in that regard? To provide for potential employees. So that's one issue. that I find a bit troubling. Some of the other things, such as training. Sometimes a lot of small businesses don't have much room for training. They'll be on-the-job training by taking you at an unskilled level in developing skills, and I believe that's very important rather than sending people to workshops, which you can't really afford given the conventional type of businesses we have. So what are your thoughts on that to benefit SMEs in considering, so I can't follow all of these, perhaps there are alternatives that have worked from your experience?
Sure. Thank you for your points. Actually, I 100% agree with you that for startups, they need budget to do certain things. To attract people and to discuss their career path or their plans, I'm sure that it's hard at the beginning for startups. But at least here, if you speak about your vision, about your company, about your dream in the company, I'm sure that you can attract people who would love to build their careers or build their start at least with this kind of job. Now for the trainings, I'm sure that also training is a challenge for the new companies, but right now we know that you can find too many trainings online with, minimum charges. And of course, one of the things that we are, encouraging companies to do is at least to have things related to the job itself. For example, we do some in-house training at the beginning, and like leadership trainings, negotiation skills, soft skills, communication skills. These are, you can get too many sources for these kind of trainings. I know that it's challenging to find, specialized training, but I believe that there are too many sites right now that you can, as a startup, can get decent material to at least do the essential trainings that new joiners want at the beginning. Thank you. Yeah.
There was a time when they would train the employees and empower them, and then later on employees will go and join other companies. How do you think they should deal with that?
Yeah, actually we face this in every company. Each company faces this problem. Again, as I said earlier, if you are close to your employees and if you communicate, ongoing and frequently, you will be able at least be close and reduce the probability that your people will leave. This is something that we all face. Sometimes we train and we send people abroad to be trained, and then we end up losing them for other companies. Some companies, they put like conditional contract for those people. For me, in order to reduce this and to reduce the probability that those people will leave you, if you keep them engaged, if you communicate with them frequently, if they know your objective and the milestones that will make them successful, I'm sure this will reduce the chances of leaving the company. Yes.
Hello, hi, thank you very much for your presentation. I just have one question. What did BAIT do specifically with the SMEs in Oman? I'm kind of a little bit lost with the job search engine and things like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Actually, Oman, we didn't start yet with the SMEs, and this is for us a great opportunity for us to start talking about SMEs and how we can provide you as SME with like very discounted packages to find talents. How we can provide you with some tips, tips and information about the business, about the cases that we face in other markets. In our office in Dubai, we have actually, it's like an incubator, and we have some entrepreneurs they started their businesses from our office. Because we are new to the office, to Oman and market, we will do that in the future. But for us, we can help in terms of helping you finding talents, finding candidates in an easy, fast, and big choice of candidates.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's a question there.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I've always have a worry about having SMEs to be attractive place for or to attract youth. So I'm wondering if we don't have incentives and benefits for employees. It's always a case that after they grow with us, that they would have to go elsewhere because, for example, we cannot give them benefit for housing, or if they would like to get loans for housing, it's not possible for them. How do we overcome such challenges?
Sure.
Thank you.
Believe me, not all big companies also give allowances and housing. It's not the case in all companies. I mean, that's why, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, you need to attract people who will love your job, who will love your objectives, I mean, the mission of your startup, the vision that you have. So I know that it's not easy, but at the same time, we have too many fresh graduates who are talented and they want to start somewhere. And it's important that you involve those people with your startup. I know that incentive is important, but I know that not all companies give incentives. And most of the people leave companies not for financial purposes. They leave because of the environment. They leave because they are sick of their managers. And they don't feel that they are engaged or part of the decision making. For me, I mean, the reason as a reason to have people, by engaging them at the company, being part of the decision making, part of as if that they own the company with you as an owner, this is more important than the incentive. I don't want to say that, say that it's not important to have incentive, but I mean, incentive is not everything to have and to attract good talent. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thanks.